was about your age, I was very interested in science and mathematics, and I was also very interested in serving my country. And I made the decision that I wanted to be first serve in the military, and that eventually led to the opportunity to apply to become an astronaut. And one of the best things about being an astronaut is being part of a really, really awesome team. It's great to be on board the International Space Station with great teammates, and it's also great to know that I have great teammates on the ground in mission control, making sure that we're safe. I understood your question to be, how do you draw in space? And well, we have things to write with, like pens and pencils and markers, and we have paper up here, and so I would draw very much like I would on the ground, except that if I just, without fixing my feet under something or had a strap holding me in place, when I put a pen or a pencil against paper, I would float away, because in space, in microgravity, every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So I have to be very careful to hold on to, make sure that the piece of paper is taped down and that my feet are secure. Otherwise, writing would cause me to float away from the piece of paper. A great honor for me because, one, Christina Cook and Jessica Meir, the two first women spacewalkers, are good friends of mine. They're like my sisters. I've been training with them for the last 6 years, and I've had the opportunity to be on board the International Space Station with them. And my role was to suit them up, to get them in their suits, and then depressurize the airlock for them to go out. And then at the end of the day, I brought them back in, pressurized the airlock, and took their suits off, and I was very glad to clean up their suits after them. It was a big honor for them, for me to be a part of that, and very proud of Jessica and Christina for their historic achievements. So I hope that you had the opportunity to watch. You might be surprised to learn that the astronauts on board the International Space Station actually don't have a lot of impact on how the International Space Station operates in terms of controlling it. Most of that is done from the ground, from mission control centers, from Houston to Houston, Texas. There's a control center in Moscow, Russia, one in Germany, and one in Japan, and they all have control over pieces and parts of the space station, and they all work together to control and monitor the systems. The astronauts on board, we do have training, and we do have the capability to control some things, but mission controlling the space station allows us to free our time to focus on working on payloads like scientific experiments and doing maintenance that can't be performed from mission control. Now, on our launch up here, right now we're launching on the Soyuz rocket, and that vehicle is controlled by the astronauts and cosmonauts inside. But the most complex spacecraft ever built is the International Space Station, and it's controlled from many flight control rooms all across the world. Emergencies are something that we train for the most in our training leading up to our space flight. Lasts almost 2 years, and much of that time is spent preparing for emergencies. The 3 emergencies that we're most concerned about on the International Space Station would be a fire, if we lost pressurization of our atmosphere, and if we were to have a toxic substance leak inside our living space. And those are the 3 things that we constantly train for, and we're prepared for at any moment, and we even run drills for those emergencies while we live on the International Space Station. We get to eat a lot of different types of food from around the world. Each space agency provides their own food. The Russian Space Agency, NASA, of course, the European Space Agency, the Canadian Space Agency, and the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency all provide different types of food, and we get to enjoy all those up here. And it's one of the most fun things to do is to share and eat each other's different types of space foods. It's all very good, and because we have a variety, it keeps it very interesting for us. The thing that we do on board the International Space Station is conduct spacewalks. And I have just finished recently my 4th spacewalk, and every time it's one of the most, we know that it's one of the most dangerous things. That's one of the things that we prepare for the most, both on the ground, and then once we're on the International Space Station, when we have a spacewalk coming up,